What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you two returns that I recently got back in the mail that are baseball related. And both of these returns have two individuals who, after their playing career, actually went on to be college professors. Yes, you heard me right. That these two individuals I'm going to feature today went on to bigger and better things post-baseball playing career. One of these names you may recognize, the other one you might not. Not unless you're a hardcore baseball fan like me and know your 1960s players. The first one I'm going to talk about is a return from somebody I have written before in the past, and that is former New York Mets pitcher / Cincinnati Reds pitcher Jay Hook on two cards there. And he actually signed two other cards for me. Another 1962 Topps with an inscription and a picture of the Mets stadium, which is not originally where this occurred, but first Mets win, 4/23/1962. So Jay Hook was the first winning pitcher in New York Metropolitans or Mets franchise history. So let me tell you about Jay Hook and his career in baseball. So Jay Hook grew up in Illinois and attended Grays Lake High School and then went on to Northwestern University. Well, at Northwestern he was very dominant, and he actually was signed by the Cincinnati Reds at just 20 years old. He received a contract from the Reds on August 17, 1957, and just a few weeks later, he was making his major league debut against the St. Louis Cardinals. On his major league debut, he pitched 2 1/3 innings, striking out 2 and walking 2. Well, he would actually wind up starting 2 more games that year for the Cardinals, and he wound up with a 0-1 record with a 4.50 ERA at just 20 years old. Well, the next year, in 1958, the Reds decided that after just one start, they probably ought to have him go down to the minor leagues and get seasoned. Well, Jay went down to Double-A and appeared in 33 games in their Double-A affiliate, posting a 13-14 record. Well, 1959 came around, and he started in 19 games in AAA for the Reds, posting a 2.96 ERA. And they decided in 1959 at 22 they would call him back up to the majors, and he'd appear in 17 games, starting 15, posting a 5-5 record. Well, by the time 1960 rolled around, the 23-year-old was part of the Reds pitching rotation. He would post 11 wins and 18 losses in his first full big league season with the club. The next year in 1961, he would struggle. He would appear in just 5 games and post a 1-3 record. Well, the Reds decided not to protect their bonus baby, and the New York Mets swooped in the expansion draft and took Jay Hook in the expansion draft for the 1962 season. Well, if some of you history buffs have been following, well, up until this season, the 1962 Mets had a record of 40-120. So Jay Hook was part of that Mets team that now is off the hook, ironically, for not being the worst team in baseball, because now the 2024 Chicago White Sox have that designation. Well, on April 23rd, 1962, as he inscribed on the card there, he got the first winning pitcher when he threw a 5-hitter when the Mets beat the Pittsburgh Pirates at Forbes Field, giving the teams the first regular season victory after 9 defeats. So the first win in history actually happened at Forbes Field. So I should have sent a Pirates card, I guess, too, because that technically would have been where the Pirates played. But I don't have a picture of Forbes Field. So anyways, he wound up with just an 8-win, 19-loss record that year. But he wound up leading the team with complete games and games started. The next year in 1963, Hook would return. This time he would split time as a starter and a relief pitcher, and would post just a 4-win, 14-loss record with a 5.48 ERA. Well, in 1964, he would start the year with the Mets again, but after struggling after 3 games, the Mets would actually wind up trading him to the Braves, where he would be then assigned to the Braves minor league affiliate and not get a call up to the Braves that season at all. So after that season with the Braves, after posting a 5-6 record in their AAA affiliate, Jay Hook had had enough of baseball. Well, remember I mentioned he actually wound up finishing his degree at Northwestern. Then he went back to get a master's degree in thermodynamics. And actually, after he retired, he took a job at age 28 to work for the Chrysler Corporation in Michigan. He would then work in senior positions at Rockwell International, which is involved in the automotive industry. And he would also work for a company called Masco, which was a screw products company. So, not really sure what Masco is. After his long career in baseball and his long career in the automobile and industrial industry, he actually became a professor at his alma mater, Northwestern University, teaching in the industrial management section of the university. So a college professor as well from Northwestern. So I'm going to thank Mr. Hook for signing these cards for me, and we'll move on to the next return. All right, this next one, you may recognize the name, and I'm going to profile him the best I can, and this is a return from Tom House. On 1, his rookie card, 2 is a Brave, 3 is a Mariner, and 4 as a Boston Red Sox. And unfortunately, he signed the Red Sox one over his face. If he would have signed it probably there, it'd be a little easier to see, but nonetheless, it is signed in very thin blue Sharpie. So let me tell you about Tom House and his contribution as a player of baseball, also a coach, and also a professor. Tom House grew up in California. He was actually originally drafted in the 11th round out of high school by the Chicago Cubs, however decided not to sign in 1965 and instead go to play college baseball at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles. Well, he was selected in the 3rd round this time by the Atlanta Braves in 1967 out of USC. After spending his first season in all 3 levels of the Braves minor league affiliates, he would start the 1968 season in AA and finish the year in AAA. He would work his way up all the way through the Braves system through 1971, where he would appear in 45 games in AAA, garnering a call-up to the major leagues, making his major league debut on June 23, 1971. Won his debut against the Montreal Expos. He came in as a relief pitcher, pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, and struck out 2, and gave up a run. He would finish out the year appearing in 11 games for the Braves that year. 1972, he would spend the majority of the season in the Braves minor league affiliate, but after posting a 1.45 ERA, the Braves did let him pitch in 8 games that year. In 1973, he would post a 4-2 record in 52 games for the Braves. And then in 1974, he would be a mainstay in the Braves bullpen, posting a 62 record with a 1.93 ERA in 56 games. Most notably, there was this guy trying to break Babe Ruth's record that year of the 1974 Braves, and Hank Aaron, and Tom House, and you watch the old videos of Hank Aaron, and I'll link it down here on video. When you watch Hank Aaron's home run, Tom House is the person in the bullpen who actually catches Hank Aaron's home run. After House catches the ball, he actually runs to Hank Aaron and gives him the ball, and then the celebration ensues. And like I said, you can see that video down here. That's a very common video that's out there when Aaron hits the home run off of Al Downing. And that's one of those things that I can recite it. And here's the pitch by Downing, and there's the home run. Tom House was the person that actually caught that ball. Well, Tom House would have an excellent record that year in 1974, like I said. But in 1975, his record would be split at 7 wins and 7 losses, but he appeared in 58 games that year for the Braves. Well, after that 75 season, the Braves decided that they wanted to cut ties with him and traded him to the Boston Red Sox. Well, with the Red Sox that year, as the card indicates, he just spent that 1 year with the Red Sox, and he only appeared in 8 games with the Red Sox because things kind of imploded for him at Fenway Park. Well, the Red Sox decided to trade him on May 28th, 1977, to the Seattle Mariners. So just after 2 months with the Red Sox, they actually sent him for cash to the Seattle Mariners. Well, he would pitch that remainder of the season in 1977 with the Mariners, appearing in 26 games and posting a 4-5 record. The next year in 1978, he would appear in 34 games for the Mariners, posting a 5-4 record. Despite this, the Mariners would release him from his contract right before the 1980 season. Tom would try to make a comeback with the San Diego Padres a few years later. However, appearing in just 2 games with the Padres, he decided to focus his attention going back to Southern California and finishing up his school. So, while he was a player, he finished up his Bachelor of Science degree in marketing, but then he went and got his Master's of Business Administration from USC, but he also got his PhD in sports psychology from US International University. He became the pitching coach for the Texas Rangers in 1985, and House is actually the person that is the influence for helping Nolan Ryan get his career as long as it was. House is the one that actually brought the idea of throwing footballs to the players that were playing baseball. So Tom House, if you've ever gone to a minor league baseball game or something like that, and there's actually a iconic card with Nolan Ryan throwing a football, you will see that was Tom House's contribution to the game. He also worked as a coach for the Houston Astros, the San Diego Padres, and also in Japan baseball for the Chunichi Dragons and Chiba Lotte Marines. Because of his coaching legacy, House has been called the father of modern pitching mechanics and the professor of throwing. House was one of the first to blend scientific-based pitching studies and methodologies for pitchers. He has led elite coaching to become scientific instead of guesswork. He has developed a model that is focused on quantifying the movement in each athlete's motion, then using drills and exercises to maximize accuracy and velocity and minimize strain on a player's body. House has been one of the first to adopt neurophysiology by pairing his mechanics and motion analysis with function fitness to address an athlete's functional strength influences. Another couple cool things, with his contributions to both USC and, coaching for the various teams that he coached for, he also was in a Disney movie. So if any of you have ever seen the movie $1 Million Arm, this is a story about him working with 2 Indian baseball players from India and helping them with their movement and getting their velocity up as pitchers. Now, from my understanding, neither of these pitchers made it to the major leagues, Rinku Singh and Dinesh Patel. However, it made for a great Disney story, so if you ever are looking to stream something or watch something, check out the movie $1 Million Arm. Tom retired from coaching USC in 2011. He also expanded his sports physiology, psychology, I don't even know what to call it, into football as well, and has worked with many NFL quarterbacks with their throwing motion. So not only is his mechanic stuff helping pitchers in baseball, he's also helping quarterbacks in football with their motion and their throwing ability. So I just want to thank Mr. House for signing my cards. I also want to thank, again, Mr. J. Hook. I did that upside down. Mr. J. Hook for signing my Mets cards here as well. Actually, yep, he's listed as a Met on that card, not a red. But putting that awesome inscription, first Mets win. I also want to thank you for taking the time to watch my channel. I look forward to your comments below, and as always, happy collecting.